As the death toll from the coronavirus rises, we are also hearing inspiring stories from those who have recovered. People we've interviewed describe the debilitating symptoms and how their treatment and support systems help them pull through this. Our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, he's home too, talked to some of them. He joins us again from his New York City apartment. David, always good to see you. What did you learn from the interviews?
That there's hope happening around the country, Gail, by which people are walking out of a hospital survivors. You know, it's important for us as journalists to not only tell you where the cases are rising, but also where people are surviving. Because folks have said to me, David, I want to know how they were treated and how their recovery is going. So this morning we're going to take you to Puerto Rico and Louisiana, but we're going to start in Georgia.
And look at me, I'm home.
Clay Bentley is sure happy to be home. He is quarantined in his bedroom after spending 12 days in a Georgia hospital. We followed his fight against coronavirus for more than a week.
I can't even hardly move, and I can't breathe. I can't catch my breath.
There was a point where the doctors told Clay there was really nothing more they could do.
They say, you know, we put these antibiotics through your system. And they said, you in worse shape today than you were when you came in the hospital. It's like 10 times stronger than the flu. When it hits you like a hammer.
Clay says right about when the doctors were going to put him on a ventilator, there were signs of improvement. He says his faith was key to his recovery.
I couldn't breathe at all. And then all of a sudden, I felt the Lord. I mean, His presence was there, and I felt Him blow air in my lungs.
That chest tightness and feeling like you can't get your breath all the way, that's really scary.
Aviva Williamson of Shreveport, Louisiana, was diagnosed 4 days ago. The 36-year-old mother of four says she's still dealing with dizziness and fatigue.
I try to keep a mindset, you know, that I'm just going to get through it and nothing else bad is going to happen.
And then there's the story of Frank Eller, an 87-year-old retired Marine from San Diego who was just released from the hospital. He was in critical condition when he was evacuated from a cruise ship and taken to a hospital in Mayaguez, Puerto Rico 2 weeks ago. He arrived with pneumonia and 5 underlying conditions, severe heart conditions, including a leaky heart valve and even emphysema in one lung. We spoke to him from his hospital bed a week ago.
At what point in the treatment progress did you start to feel relief?
I would say once they got me in this isolation room and started getting the antibiotics in me and the oxygen, almost immediately. Of course, we could not have done it without the hospital's outstanding efforts. And finally, the grace of God.
Amen.
That's why I'm here.
Mr. Eller is at home this morning in San Diego. He was never on a ventilator. And I can't get over this. 5 underlying health conditions, the emphysema in one lung, heart disease, leaky heart valve, peripheral neuropathy, and an irregular heartbeat. And he still survived at 87. How's that for hope?
That is a wonderful story.
We needed to hear that, David. We need to hear the stories of survival. I love the Clay story because we've been following him all over the country to see him back home. That's great. I love all the stories, actually, of everybody that survived.
Yeah, it is.
And wonderful. We have an abundance of hope here, David.
Me too.
We do indeed. Thank you for contributing to that reporting.